All right, welcome everybody to the Talk Debate Edition, Episode 2, entitled Memes, the First Amendment, and Politicians. I have very specific questions today for our two guests. Austin, last episode, was behind the camera, so you didn't see him. Austin Amestoy, a junior at Laurel High School, and of course you saw Jacob last week, also a junior, an esteemed junior, at Laurel High School.
Esteemed.
So I'm going to ask you both of this question, and then you can take turns kind of working through the question. So the first question I have for you is, what animal would you assign as the spirit animal to each of the 4 major candidates for the most recent presidential election, and why? So, and the 4 being Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Jill Stein, and Gary Johnson.
Do we have to use all 4, or can we pick one?
Never mind. That was dumb. Okay.
Can
So-
we just pick?
No, you have to do all 4.
Spirit animals for each person?
Yes.
All right. Well, since this is candid, I've always associated Donald Trump with the ostrich.
Okay, and why?
Primarily because, while the ostrich is tall and slender, somewhat unlike our president-elect,
Satire.
I've seen videos before of ostriches communicating with one another through strange and something gonna be strange and flowery dances. They kind of get down, kind of roll their necks around and ruffle their feathers up a little bit. And
That's
I've always
a
associated
common action of Donald Trump.
and I've always associated the ruffling of the feathers not only to his hand motion, but also to his toupee.
That's toupee. And okay, so what would you assign as Donald Trump's spirit animal?
Donald Trump, a bald eagle. How more patriotic can you get?
And plus he's
Oh,
almost
wow.
bald,
than
so
Donald Trump.
right, that makes sense.
Mm.
Okay, Hillary Clinton, Jacob.
A snake.
He'd be a flightless bald eagle.
A snake.
A snake for Hillary Clinton. I don't think we can argue about that.
Neat
What do you
snake.
think?
A raccoon.
Why? That's interesting. Because she hides in the trash?
No, I think, well, I want to delve a little bit deeper than the surface level. Of
Sure,
course, the
sure.
snake has the correlation between, original sin,
Deceit, yeah, right.
deceit, venom, death, poisoning.
Benghazi.
No.
Continue. Raccoon.
But the raccoon, on the other hand,
Okay.
the raccoon, on the other hand, you see, it's a masked creature, and commonly associated with like burglars, robberies, 33,000 deleted emails, Benghazi.
That makes sense. I can get
The
behind
soldiers, the enemy at Benghazi, probably had masks like raccoons.
that. Right. Right.
Is this too edgy?
No, I get it. Okay.
Okay.
Austin.
Covered?
Gary Johnson.
Gary Johnson. Well, Gary Johnson.
Gary Johnson, what a guy.
Oh,
Let's talk about Gary Johnson a little bit.
hands down, has to be the koala.
Okay, just because it's the best animal ever?
Well, not quite. Koalas, when you see them in the eucalyptus trees, constantly munching on leaves, much like I believe Gary Johnson's constantly lighting up, and
I could see
and
it.
they're drowsy like 90% of the day.
Oh,
Gary Johnson,
he got the munchies, the drowsies.
and he's
yep.
got that calm factor,
So
and
instead of eucalyptus, he's chowing on pop brownies.
it has to be.
Gotcha.
Has to be libertarians.
Gary
I
Johnson.
have nothing to say because I completely agree with that.
You could concede to that point?
You know what? I could concede.
Classic.
All right, and finally, Jill Stein.
Jill Stein.
Spirit animal for Jill Stein.
A Shiba Inu.
I don't know what that is.
It's the Doge.
The Doge. The
Oh.
Doge.
You're incorporating memes into the animal question.
I mean, that's going to come a little bit later, but
I'm sorry, but
But that's okay,
The
'cause
No,
Shiba
that's-
Inu dog is. It's a joke. Should I say more?
no, I think we can move on.
Nothing more.
Because that actually takes us right into the next question I have for you, being, rather than spirit animal, which meme would you assign most specifically to each of the 4 candidates? So would you say that it's the Doge meme to Jill Stein?
Such wow. Much amazed.
I don't know. I have a lot of
So,
respect for the Doge.
Vaccine missiles.
Oh,
for
you have too
ISIS.
much respect for the Doge meme to assign it to Jill Stein?
So Jill Stein, who
Absolutely.
was a complete sellout in the 2016 election,
Or Jill.
would probably have to be the recent uprising of the Google advertisement. flashy,
The
and
the
just
wailing.
just plain stupid.
Basically, the theme is there's a really annoying, blaring soundtrack playing in the background,
It's
and they
actually
just put
kinda
something
good.
on repeat and throw some text over the screen. It's Jacob likes it, but that's just he's a plebeian.
Okay, so for our viewers out there that want to check that out, that'd be great. Austin, Jill Stein, meme.
Jill Stein. Jill Stein. Well, she's kind of a goon.
Right, vaccinations cause
Right.
Or maybe
Autism.
they do.
stuff.
You know, Jill Stein, out of all the candidates, has most closely aligned herself with meme culture.
Okay.
So I would actually assign the Jill Stein meme to Jill Stein.
That's clever. I like that. Way to jump outside the box
Thank
on
you.
that. I
Thank
commend
you.
that. Okay, Jacob, Gary Johnson, a meme.
Gary Johnson.
Sounds like a bad book title. Gary Johnson.
You know, Ron Swanson.
Wow.
Ron Swanson again, but this time
Libertarian, that
it's
makes sense.
specific though. See, have you seen the meme where Ron Swanson takes out the computer and throws it in the trash? See-
Oh yeah, where he's disgusted with what he sees on the screen.
Yes, and what he's
Because they were taking
Disposes
cookies
of
from
the
him.
Yes,
computer.
and what he's disgusted with in this case is what he saw on the screen, and that was an image of Jill Stein. So when I see that meme, I picture Ron as Mr. Johnson himself, the worthy candidate from the 2016 election, throwing away
out of disappointment.
trash.
And
So
rage.
Gary Johnson is Ron Swanson, throwing away the trash of the computer that is Jill Stein.
Yes.
Austin, follow up.
I follow that up.
Concede
Alright,
to that point.
Well, I could, but I have something.
Oh.
Something more. I feel as though Gary Johnson specifically, working along with the koala idea and the eucalyptus and 420 blazes and all that jazz. I could see him aligning with the I believe it's from The Simpsons, standing outside the window with the Christ is watching sign.
Okay.
Because Gary Johnson, especially at the end of this campaign season, he was falling to pieces, man. He pulled this very, very well played stunt on a talk show, an obscure talk show, because Lord knows he's not going to appear on a mainstream
Like
talk
this
show.
Christ knows.
And Christ knows, and because Christ is watching, and he appeared, and they were talking about heart attacks and how excessive smoking of weed would cause heart attacks, and Gary Johnson just clutched his chest and slumped over in his chair, and the guy's a goon, and so I just think that
He thinks he needs the Christ is watching meme.
he does, he
Okay.
does.
All right.
Christ is watching.
All right. Moving into the meat of the question here today. Hillary Clinton, a meme.
Jacob.
See, there's so many different ways.
I mean, if I can guide, I'm gonna just because I have to get my opinion out there. I'd have to say that Hillary Clinton is the.
The X-Files theme.
Because of everything she's hiding.
Because it's spooky. She's a
Spooky.
spooky.
But that's
She's
just
a
my
spooky
input. So
woman.
let help that.
Where did
Let
where
that
did
guide
the
you.
emails go?
Right.
X-Files. Aliens? Is she working with the aliens? Independence Day? Hillary
Jacob,
Clinton did Independence Day?
I feel like you have a little bit of.
Hillary Clinton did Independence Day.
I feel like you have a little bit of argument to make here.
Well, first off, I'd just like to say I don't think Hillary Clinton was responsible for the independence of this nation.
No, not that Independence
No,
Day.
the
The
movie.
movie.
She's not that genius. Anyway, Hillary Clinton as a meme.
I do like that.
I do like the X-Files, but at the same time, I'm thinking she's more of the kid with the glasses. You know him? He's hanging up the lights on the Christmas tree, remember? And he's like, only one more thing to hang. Finger gun. Myself.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
So I'm thinking maybe Hillary Clinton should take some notes.
Wow. Wow, was that...
Little underbar of the TV screen reads, "Hillary Clinton hang herself?" Question mark. All right, we're gonna move on, and finally,
this is how we get Secret Service called.
finally,
Secret Service.
Donald Trump, assign a meme to our president-elect. Austin.
You know, I've thought long and hard about this. And I just have to say, so let's work with this idea a little bit. Donald Trump is a a very controversial man
Right.
in a very controversial age. And so, of course, the only thing that can be assigned to our president-elect is a controversial meme.
Sure. A
And
little
so,
bit edgy, something like that.
yeah, an edgier meme. And so, I would definitely say it has to be Dark Side Kermit.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places.
And because you know,
We
you
talked
got
about
that,
that
you
on the
got
last
that,
episode a little
right?
bit.
You got that good side of Trump, where people like the things he said. Most people agree to certain things he says. Like I think everyone can agree that we would like America to be great again. But then you have that dark inner me that says all Mexicans are rapists.
Right. I can be behind that. Jacob, follow up.
Trump are what seem to be provocative
You speak up a little bit
and
more.
altogether amazing president Donald J. Trump, also my father, aligns perfectly with any Donald Trump meme ever.
So Donald Trump is Donald Trump.
He
that
is
makes
he
sense.
is his own meme.
Because every time I see that build a wall, I get so inspired. I can't explain it.
All right. Well, so then moving on, basically, to wrap it up, I've got two more questions. The first, kind of relating very closely to that, what do you think is going to be the future of meme culture, memeology, under the presidency of Donald J. Trump?
Oh,
Well, I can start with this one.
never ending.
Never ending. It's gonna be a good future.
Eternal.
A good future in a good way or a bad way?
I think it all depends on policy implementation.
Sure. Because I mean that directly. I mean the laws we implement as a nation clearly affect the memes we create.
Well, obviously. I mean, how many times have we all gotten on, hopped on iFunny and saw the some comment about some parody of a race or something, and then Trump like frowning in the distance and slamming the wall button, right? That's because of his policy implementation to build a wall.
That's fair.
All right. So with this question, we're gonna go back in time.
Let's take it back.
I'm gonna give you a quick history lesson.
A long time ago.
The year is 1919, and World War I had, it had taken its toll. It was at its peak at one point.
The Great War.
It started to diminish.
The war to end
It had
all
already
wars.
ended, right?
Well,
It didn't end all wars.
It didn't.
It didn't end on the wars.
War was
World
psychological.
War II.
Anyway,
World War II
Going
happened.
there.
Germany.
Nazis.
Germany was in this
Hiroshima.
very Great Depression, and at this time they were
Pearl
called
Harbor.
the Weimar Republic. And see, the thing is, what happened is
Emperor Hirohito.
these people needed someone to look
Did
to.
they get
They
Jojo?
needed a leader, and that leader at the time was no other than himself, Adolf Hitler. And who?
Adolf.
It's fine.
Adolf Hitler.
It's fine.
Or Hortler seemed like a great guy. See, and the thing is, he started to slowly take away their right to speak, so much to the point where they couldn't do it at all. And that's exactly what I think Donald J. Trump is going to step up.
You think
and do.
Donald J. Trump is going to take away our rights to
Give
post
rise
memes
to
like,
the-
like and
I
give
think-
rise to the Fourth Reich?
I think he's going to start by taking away our right to satire or making fun of the government.
So the Fourth
comedy.
Reich begins where memes end.
Yes.
And
I
where
think-
Donald J. Trump,
So you think he's going to
Presidency
end
begins.
memes?
I think
he's going to end memes.
I think he'll
Oh
end
my
memes
gosh.
altogether.
Donald J. Trump
You
is the
heard it
meme
here
to end all
first.
memes. You heard it here.
I think he's also going to raise, yes, the Fourth Reich.
Okay.
Profound.
And the final question I have for you today, just to kind of wrap things up.
Sure.
In spirit of the beginning new year today, or not today, excuse
Well,
me,
recently.
I'd like to ask, in retrospect of 2016, what would both of you argue was the meme of 2016?
Seagulls, stop it now.
It's
Not-
a Yoda
not
bad
well
lip
known.
reading. You can look it up on YouTube.
Look it up. Seagulls, parentheses, stop it now.
It's a song.
By
It's
bad
about
lip
3.5
reading.
minutes long. It's literally the best thing that's ever graced mankind. But
That log had a child.
that log had a child.
One day I was walking and I found this big log. Then I rolled the log over. Underneath was a tiny little stick. And I was like, that log had a child.
Jacob, follow up.
I can't.
You can concede to that point.
If you
Although
see-
I would argue that if there was another one, definitely the most long-lived meme has to be Harambe.
Of course.
He's still around.
The Prince.
He's still with us.
I disagree.
If
That
you
gorilla
start bad
died.
talking Harambe, we will kick you
That
off this
gorilla
show.
died in early summer, and he is still with us to this day in 2017.
Harambe was a loss to us all. However,
You can't argue his place in meme history.
His meme
He's eternal.
was nothing as good as Bantu.
Bantu was so
Bantu
fleeting.
was like a
Bantu was so
follow-up.
fleeting.
That's ridiculous.
You-
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
I can't look at you.
Balls out.
I
All
can't
right,
look
we're
at
gonna
you.
wrap it up for today. This has been episode 2 of the Talk Debate Edition, and I hope you enjoyed it.
I don't.
Please subscribe and like this video.
I'm very
We'll see you next week.
Forget this.